Welcome back to episode number 2. Before we get started, I'd like to do a quick recap on episode 1 to see where we left off. And we managed to do all of that without pressing the record button one time. Because I am an idiot. Yeah, that sounds about right. This is on Raid, a maxed main account who has been locked to the entirety of Gielinor with the sole purpose of conquering everything the world has to offer. From filling in the collection log to acquiring the best gear available, we will achieve it all with arbitrary rules and no end in sight. Join me for the misadventures of a lifetime. Alrighty, we're here at the Grand Exchange to buy some supplies for Mahogany Homes, which is where I'd like to start off in today's episode. I have so many unfinished minigame collection log spaces to fill that it feels like a good place to start as I work towards the short-term goal of hitting 1,000 total collection log slots, outside of clue scrolls of course, and we'll talk about the plan for those later on in this video. I'm going to start off by buying 5,000 mahogany planks and 1,000 steel bars, I think. The bars, I think, will last me through the entirety of the grind. The planks, I think I'll more than likely have to buy more to finish green logging this. I'll throw the expected wiki rates up on the screen for you guys, just to give you a better idea of what I'll need to finish this off. I think I'm looking at around 20 to 25 hours for these 8 items, so somewhere in the ballpark of 20 to 25 mil in cost. Also, that number go up and my brain goes happy. And just to give a quick overview for those who may not be entirely familiar, Mahogany Homes is a construction-based minigame where the primary objective is to fix furniture in the homes of citizens across Gielinor, at which point you're given a lump sum amount of construction experience based off of the type of contract you're currently completing. These contracts can be received from Amy and Falador, as well as various other NPCs that reside in estate agents' offices in cities where these contracts take place. The contract types are as follows: Beginner, Novice, Adept, and Expert, each awarding a different amount of points and experience based off of the required construction level and required plank type. You're typically going to be better off completing the highest level contracts that you can. However, many players will opt for the less expensive contracts to save money, at the cost of lower experience per hour and as well as a slower point accumulation. Now that we've covered that, I can absolutely say that none of this matters for me, as I'm already 99 construction and I'm solely going for points. Yeehaw! So let's talk about points. What are they useful for? Well, in Amy's reward shop, you're able to purchase a supply crate, which holds a variety of different construction-related materials, Amy's saw, which is simply an equipable saw, saving you an inventory space, a plank sack, which is by far the most useful reward, as it allows you to hold 28 additional planks and increases how many contracts you can do per hour, and the carpenter's outfit. The full outfit provides a slight buff to construction experience gained while you're training it. Last, and certainly least in terms of utility, would be the Hosidius Blueprints, which is just a cosmetic override for your POH. Okay, now that all that boring stuff is out of the way, let's take a very quick second here to go over what my typical inventory looks like for a contract. Of course, you've got a hammer and a saw. Typically 2 steel bars. I don't think you ever need more than 1. I bring 2 just because, I don't know, it feels right. Your rune pouch. Now, this is where a lot of people and I are gonna, have some disparity. A lot of people will be on Lunars and use like their construction cape or home teleport tabs, and use their portal nexus to teleport around, and then they'll have Lunars so that they can use NPC contact to contact Amy for more contracts. I don't do that. I don't play super efficiently. I just teleport back to Falador, or if I'm in one of those cities that has a place to get contracts that is closer than teleporting back, I'll do that. But yeah, so I don't do that. I just have a rune pouch with your typical teleport runes, although I am apparently missing air at the moment, so in this -1 plank and add a stack of air runes. And then my construction cape, because that's what I carry around all the time. I don't know. I can't be the only person that just kind of sets up their inventory in a way that feels right to them, right? Where it doesn't entirely make sense at the 2 steel bars, but it's become like a comfort thing at this point. I don't know, it makes sense to me. Alright, and once you reach the destination here of your contract, everything is going to be highlighted. I think this is a RuneLight plugin, but it shows you exactly what needs to be fixed. You literally just click it once, it'll remove it, and then you click it again, it builds it. It's pretty much that simple, and you do that until everything has been repaired. Once you've built everything, talk on the individual you're doing work for, and they will give you a reward, that fat, juicy XP drop there. They'll also offer you a cup of tea. It's not really entirely necessary anymore with the run energy changes, but all it does is completely replenish your run energy back up to 100%. So that's nice, I guess, if you're low level agility. And that's it. That's what I'm going to be doing for the next 20 or so plus hours. And I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret here, something that's not covered on the wiki. There is a fight club in RuneScape. Now, as soon as you finish your contract, you walk outside, you shut their door, and you start to walk away, they immediately start fist fighting their furniture. And you'll be right back here in 3 to 4 contracts to do everything you just did all over again. Alright, on my way back to get the second contract of the video, and I'm not sure if you guys noticed in the last clip, but I actually have quite a few points from, built up from the past, apparently. I guess I had started working on this and never actually finished it up. So if I look at the collection log here, under minigames and Mahogany Homes, I have nothing as of right now. And I know that I talked about in the last video, really wanting to save up points and buy everything at once. But I'm going to be honest, this is not one of those times. I'm going to go ahead and buy the plank sack, which costs, let's see. Oh, that works. Accidentally grabbed the contract instead of opening the reward shop, but here we are, 350 points. I have 775 as it stands right now. I'm gonna go ahead and buy it. It's gonna expedite the process so much. It also gives us our very first collection log of this episode. This is going to put us up from 901 to 902. And a quick little intermission here. Managed to hit level 100 construction, which is pretty cool. A neat little milestone. Absolutely useless, but a neat milestone nonetheless. Okay, I feel like this is a good point to stop and check in. We're almost entirely through the first 5,000 planks that we purchased. I'm actually finishing up the last contract as we speak. And there it is. Looks like we're sitting at about 2,365 total points. So a little over halfway of what we need to finish Mahogany Homes. After buying the saw, we only need about 4,500 points in total to buy everything else, so I'll go ahead and grab another 5,000 mahogany planks, and that should hold me over until this is done entirely. Also, kinda random, but I had no idea this would require nearly a third of the total number of planks needed to get from 83 to 99, according to the wiki that is. And that's kinda neat that we'll be getting that much post-max construction experience. It's kind of a neat little bonus. Alright, so we're here at the Grand Exchange. I'm just picking up these last 5,000 mahogany planks, and I think now is as good a time as any to go over my plans for the clue scrolls that I had talked about earlier in the episode. So if I go down here and I look at my collection log, if I look at beginners, I'm really close to green logging. Easies, close-ish, right? But I still have quite a few collection log slots to snag from the easy tier. Medium, I'm very close to being done. I've only got 6 left, albeit they are mainly pretty rare items, being the elegant pieces. But for hard clues, I have done so few and have so few collection lot slots filled in this tier that it's almost free. Like, there are so many much more common items left to get that it could blast me over 1,000 collection logs. So looking at what I have in here right now, I have 121 hard clues stacked up. I want to hit 500, I think. I think that's my goal. But I want to hit 500 easies, 500 mediums, maybe 200 to 300 beginners as well, just to have a good shot at getting those last 2 items and just see what we can get. And then I want to open them after I hit probably around like the 970 980 mark for total collection log slots, just so that way I have not only like a guaranteed way to push over 1,000, but possibly something special too, right? Like that's a lot of hard clues. Maybe see a piece of third age in there, something unique, something special, and I think it would be a cool way to push past it, to hit it and push past it and beyond, you know? So I think that's my plan there, and then also, that'll give me a ton of master clues. I already have 20 stacked up. I have one in the bank that I need to do. I have another stashed over in Hosidius that I can go claim at any point in time as well. I also have a couple of these birds' eggs, as well as a couple mystery boxes. These I think I'm gonna wait and save up over the course of a year. So like at either the very end of 2025, I want to open all these, or at the very start of 2026. Either or, I'm not sure just yet. But yeah, I think clue loot wise, I think that would be a really fun way to push past 1,000. And I've been doing that via impling jars. So it's very expensive, but it's a lot faster, and yeah, so you'll probably see me doing a lot of PVM in the next couple of episodes too, on top of getting these few collection load slots like Mahogany Homes, as I push towards like 970, 980, and I'm working on this on the side, and I'll do an update in every episode too, kind of where I'm at, in terms of funding this venture. So yeah, I just wanted to take a second and go over that. All right, and we're back on the grind here with our additional 5,000 planks. I gotta be honest, this is not nearly as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Apparently they made some changes a while ago at this point, where it's just a one-click remove option and a one-click build. I had no idea that there was a time period where there was an actual interface, as if you were training construction as you would in your player-owned house. But yeah, I'm super grateful that that's not a thing now, and it's not been as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Hey, and there it is, a brand new virtual level 101 construction. It's pretty cool to see. According to the XP tracker, it looks like we have 1.6 mil to go until level 102, so not sure if we're gonna hit that with the planks that we have remaining, but we should get pretty close. Alrighty, I think this is a good place to stop and check in. We just finished up a contract, and we're sitting at 3,000 points now, so we're about 2/3 of the way there. To completely finishing Mahogany Homes and green logging this, which is pretty nice. I am, however, going to stop, and I'm going to go and do some forestry. I'm still missing quite a few collection logs from here, and I need to take a little bit of time to stop and edit what I've recorded so far to make sure that I get this video out in a timely manner. So I'm going to stop and do some of that for a little bit and see if maybe we can get, like, finish up the pheasant's outfit or something easy, something simple that just kind of adds to the overall number of collections that we get this episode. Unbeknownst to you, however, I wasn't chopping logs. I was chopping down your guard, making you more susceptible to liking the video and subscribing. So do that. Please. In all seriousness, though, I am going to miss forestry once it's green logged. I'm running out of good AFK things to do on the side. We are back to doing Mahogany Homes. That was a nice little break, but it was time to get back. And I don't know if you can see down in the chat box here, but we are actually at 4,000 points now. So we came back and we hit it pretty hard, and we put a pretty big dent into what we had left to do. We've only got 525 points left to go, so we're getting pretty close to being done with it. Overall, it's been a pretty chill grind, and I wish this was a method I had considered for training my construction to 99 when that was a thing I was doing. The only thing I will say is that I severely underestimated how long this was going to take. It's probably been closer to 30 hours, and it'll probably be pushing 35 hours by the time I'm done. Now, I am a pretty casual player. I'm not the most efficient, so I'm sure this could have been done faster. But for those casual players out there like myself, do take that, keep that in mind when you're looking at the wiki rates. Alright, so something a little embarrassing. I just learned that you don't actually have to remove the planks from the plank sack with the empty option in order for it to work. It just pulls right from the plank sack, and it saves you a couple clicks. I wish I would have known that like 4,200 points ago, but that's fine. I figured I would use this embarrassing moment to update any of you who may not know that. Alrighty, so I may have miscalculated a little bit here. We got to 4,300 points even, and we have officially run out of planks. So I'm going to grab another 1,000 at the GE real fast here, and hopefully that gets us through to the very end, because this is starting to get very expensive. Ooh, and there is level 102 construction. That means we have hit 17.5 million construction experience. It's pretty cool. It'll definitely be the last level that we get this episode. Alright, and as we wrap this final contract up, we have hit the exact number of points needed to finish green logging Mahogany Homes. 4,525. It wasn't a bad grind, but I am definitely glad that it's over. Let's head back to Amy's and Falador and buy all these things. Alright, my friends, the time has come to fill out the Mahogany Homes collection log. I'm going to start with everything on top here, so I don't accidentally purchase a second plank sack, because that is something I definitely would do to myself if I don't focus on the task at hand. This actually ended up taking about 40 hours in total, but I do want to cement the fact that I am just very inefficient, and this could definitely be done faster. And there we have it. Everything has been purchased, and we have completely greened out Mahogany Homes. Another minigame crossed off the list. I'd like to do a quick recap on what this week's misadventure entailed, but before we do, I feel like we should be representing our successful venture with some new drip. much better. So during this past week, we managed to complete the Mahogany Homes collection log. In doing so, we used roughly 11,000 planks and around 400 steel bars, costing us just over 24.5 million GP. In turn, we gained just shy of 3.6 million construction experience. Now, this doesn't do anything for us directly because this account is maxed. However, gaining post-99 experience is always kind of cool to see, and at least construction isn't one you see all that often. The most important part is that we gained 8 new collection log items, taking us from 901 to 909 total items collected. Now, the important question. Was it worth it? Maybe. Well, technically yes. Every item gained puts us closer to our short-term goal of hitting 1,000 total items. Plus, once we get a tad bit closer, I get to open all of my stat caskets to push over that 1,000 clog threshold, and that's a dopamine rush I'm really looking forward to. Well, my friends, this is where I'm gonna have to leave off for this week. We spent a hefty chunk of change this episode, so we're gonna need to make that back ASAP. So I should probably start recording, now. Thanks for joining me on this misadventure. Till next time.